I'm Pari,
And I'm Sia.
and in this channel, we're gonna be reviewing some movies. And the movie that we're starting with is Children of Men by Alfonso Cuarón.
So this movie was released back in 2006. Um, the movie was based on 2027, where the whole world is in chaos with infertility for nearly 2 decades. The government was strictly governing the immigrants and even handing out suicidal kit called Quitus.
So the movie follows the story of Key. She's a refugee, and she's the first woman pregnant in 18 years, which is a huge deal. But she wants to keep her pregnancy secret because she's scared of the government and what they will do to her.
Mm-hmm.
So she meets up with Theo, who's a former who's a former activist against the government.
Yeah.
And she asks Theo for help as a way to deliver her baby securely.
Mm-hmm.
And then the movie takes Theo and Key on this journey with their newfound hope in humanity and them just trying to survive all of the chaos.
Okay. Okay, so let's move on to the theme of the movie.
Yeah.
So the theme that I brought was hope versus hopelessness. So everyone wants hope, but no one was capable of bringing hope back to the world. They each struggled to find hope, and Key's pregnancy definitely symbolized the slight key of hope that's bringing to the world. Um, yeah, and maybe the second theme that I want to kind of talk about very shortly is humanity versus inhumanity. So government is governing citizens and the immigrants very strictly. Moments in the movie where they hit them, undresses them, shoots them, the use of the very brutal language are definitely considered inhumanity. However, on the other hand, people like Jasper that we see,
Yeah.
he definitely sacrifices himself and doesn't hesitate when doing it. And this definitely challenges the audience to reflect on the good versus the bad side of the people and individual and how that plays a role in our world.
Yeah.
Yes.
The themes that I chose kind of like relate to the humanity versus inhumanity that you talked about. The theme that I chose was immigration and refugees.
Yeah.
So the movie explores the topic and it talks about how immigrants and refugees are treated by the government.
Yes.
And especially because in that world there's a lack of resources and it's very chaotic. And it shows that once like when it comes to immigrants and refugees, the government is like to each their own and kind of abuses the power on them because they feel like they are displaced and so they deserve less.
Yeah, definitely.
And also like something that else that I saw, it shows the dehumanizing treatments that refugees like get from the government.
Yes,
and
definitely.
it is a reflection of our own world when it comes to topics such as like war and refugees getting displaced and all of those kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And another theme that I also kind of want to brush over was the use of technology and privacy. So in the movie, technology is mainly used for surveillance
That's
and
true.
to kind of rob people of their privacy, which raises the question about how like technology can contribute to the lack of privacy of people and how government can abuse technology without people being even aware of it and the consequences that come with it.
Okay. Okay, so Perry, let's talk about the directing style of the movie. I think the best one out of all of them is definitely the non-stop continuous takes that the director does. And I feel like by doing so, the movie feels very realistic and reliable. And it feels like more than a film. You know what I mean? It feels real to me. And maybe the second one I want to talk about is lighting and the color of the movie. Definitely, the light and the color played a significant role in the movie, and especially the London, where it's kind of portrayed very dark, gray, and even with the theme of the movie, infertility, where it's chaotic, right? So it definitely, sticks together. However, as soon as Theo visits his cousin, the lighting starts to change, and everyone looks content with their life. Grass looks really green, sky looks really blue, and things are where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So I feel like the difference between the world, even they're in the same country, and it kind of reminds us how individuals react to the same matter in this society.
It shows the contrast really well.
Yeah,
between
definitely.
The people who were living their life happily and the chaos that was back in London.
Yeah.
And actually, another like thing that I want to talk about with the directing style goes back to the continuous shots.
Yes.
I think something that I saw a lot in the movie was that like the camera work looked handheld.
Yeah.
And it was like to me it was one of the most prominent features in the movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. Cause you know it was like the camera was shaky at times. That to me like conveyed that sense of realism and like rush because they were like in the action scenes specifically.
Yeah.
And also I don't know if it did it, but it kind of reminded me of documentaries.
Yeah.
Where it's very natural and authentic.
Yes,
because
that's
like
true.
you can see that they're not. It's not overly produced. It's just very real.
Yeah.
So the camera like shakes at times, and I think it goes really well with the themes of the movie, and it helps like give that audience the realism that they need.
Yes, that's
and
true.
And also one thing that I like also noticed is that there was a lot of attention gone to the world building and the setup.
Yeah.
So like the city structure looked really well done, and the buildings, especially like during the action scene in which Theo is looking for Key after Key is giving birth. Like when everything falls, it feels very realistic, and it feels like you are in a war scene. And I feel like all of these factors like make the movie feel very authentic.
Yeah.
And it helps you empathize with the characters very easily, which I liked.
And you mentioned like the structures that the movie used. Even though we have never been to 2027, it kind of feels like we're in there. You know what I mean? So I think the directing style overall was one of the greatest.
And especially like comparing it to the time jump because it was made in 2006.
That's what I'm talking about.
It gives a very real description of what 2027 would look like. I feel like.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. Yep. Okay. So the sound and music of the movie, I would say the silence. You know what I mean? The silence of the movie. So throughout, there are several scenes that had silent background. You know what I mean? The silent background.
Yeah.
And this shows the despair and desperation in each character and the situation they're placed in. And I would say sometimes silent is more powerful than a big music.
Because it also like, I feel like sometimes with background music there's a build up where you can go like, oh, there's an action scene about to go down.
That's true.
But the silence is very mysterious.
It's like
you feel ambiguous about what's gonna happen in the movie, and you can also like relate to the uncertainty in the characters.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, which was displayed really well, I think.
The second one I want to go over real quick is the real sound.
Yeah.
The sound of the footstep, fighting, especially the shooting scene was very realistic to me. And definitely baby crying. Immigrants speaking foreign language was a big, huge thing in the movie too. And especially the news in the background that was going around. All of those were a great addition to the movie, and those definitely adds up to the suspense of the movie, the theme, and it definitely makes us want to go back again and see what kind of missed.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, like, you talked about how there's no film music, and that is something that I really liked.
Yeah.
But also there was this specific film music that kept like playing, because the movie relies on real sound and real music. But I think there was a background like music, a film music that was playing during Key's pregnancy, and especially when there was a lot of like themes with Key and her baby, and like when they are walking through the soldiers and everybody kind of like stops what they're doing.
Yes.
And I feel like that helps really bring out the emotions in that scene, especially because it isn't like a really dramatic, but like a more mellow. And then like to me, it also sounds like how like a mother would treat their child.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's very soft and like
motherhood
delicate.
Instinct,
yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? Yeah.
And also like another thing that I really liked was that during the action scenes there was no film music.
Yes.
So it was all real. You said like the shooting, the people yelling.
Yeah.
So it felt like I was in it instead
very
of
authentic.
Yeah, it was very authentic. So I really liked that part.
Yes. Okay. Okay, so the next one we want to kind of talk about is our favorite character / the character we want to kind of talk about is mine is Theo.
Yeah.
You know, and the actor is Clive Owen. He was a formal activist and now works for the government. He goes through a huge character development, I feel like. And even when his ex-wife Julian asks for help with Key, he was definitely seeking for his own gain, like the money, you know, fame, which is very unusual for main characters and protagonists in other movies as portrayed. But as the movie goes by, he learns how to kind of sacrifice himself Or especially after seeing his loved ones
Yeah.
die, Jasper, Julian,
Mm.
his protective instinct definitely increases, I feel
Yeah.
like. And he also learns how to truly build an interaction and relationship with other people.
The character I chose was Jasper, which is like a really close to character to
Yeah.
Theo, and he's played by Michael Caine. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of reasons that I like Jasper.
Yes.
I feel like in a way, because he was a pretty short-lived character.
Yeah, he
But
was.
in a way, the time he was there, he acted as the moral center of
Mhm.
the show. We saw that like when we talk about Theo's character as a
Yeah.
woman, a lot of it comes through with Jasper.
Yeah.
He acts as a mentor. He guides him through this stuff, and he continues to be the one
Mhm.
that everybody goes to when
Yeah.
you see like they are having a hard time and
Yes.
need kind of that support.
Mhm.
And even though he's no longer a political activist, he
Yeah.
still resists against the oppressive government.
Yes.
So like he's one of those characters that even though he like is living his peaceful life
Yeah.
until Theo comes up, he doesn't brush up what the government has done. He
Mhm.
still acknowledges all of their wrongdoing.
Yeah.
And I feel like he overall brought this sense of like humanity and
Yes.
like compassion and warmth that the movie really lacked.
Mhm.
And I feel like especially like Jasper's house,
Yes.
it looked so warm and cozy.
Yeah, I know.
I really liked it, especially when everybody was talking and like they were sitting down.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jasper in a way also acts like a father towards all of them.
That's
He's like a
true.
father figure, especially towards Theo.
Yeah.
And his home like acts as a sanctuary for Theo.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think his death was like one of the saddest deaths in the movie.
Yeah, I totally
Especially because
agree.
like right after we see Theo's reaction,
Yes.
after he told Theo to go away
I
because he
know.
knew his fate,
Yeah.
and it just shows how much these two people
Yes.
have cared about each other.
Mhm.
I really like this character.
Yeah, and kind of to build up, I feel like Theo and Jasper are their relationship is like I can't describe it.
Yeah.
It's very intimate. And especially because the world is you can't be happy in that world.
Yeah.
And Theo lost his son.
Yeah.
And his wife died, and I feel like he had no one but to rely on Jasper, but he also died, and that's where Theo's character development kind of steps in.
Mhm.
He learns, and he actually knows how to be a decent human being.
And I feel like after Jasper dies, like Theo maybe in his mind he's trying to like honor Jasper by
Yes,
doing the right
definitely.
things. Because especially like I feel like Jasper was his like safe spot.
Mm-hmm.
And something else that I personally really like about Jasper is that he was always like humorous in the show, in the movie. He didn't take
Yes.
things too seriously.
Yes.
Like he tried to uplift everyone.
Yeah.
And even in his death scenes,
Mhm.
we see that he's trying to like bring a sense of humor
Yeah.
and he's trying to joke around.
Yes.
And like despite all of everybody being so serious and
Yeah.
dense all the time,
Mhm.
like Jasper's like a calm man in the storm. He's
Yeah.
like strong.
Yeah.
And I just really like his character.
Yeah, and then one thing I want to point out is you mentioned that Theo thinks Jasper's house is a very like sanctuary place,
Yeah.
like very safe place, and we see how the animals they were in, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
animals, the pets in the house are also like one of the key points. The little kitten,
Yeah.
the little like cat he was petting, the doggy,
Mm.
everything that's placed in the house. It's
Yeah.
giving a cozy vibe.
It's
you
giving
know?
home.
It's giving home, definitely. Yeah. Which Jasper is giving, definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Perry, let's talk about the personal opinion and the rating of the movie. Do you want to start?
Yeah, okay. So for me,
Yeah.
I really liked the movie,
Mm-hmm.
but I felt a little conflicted about the ending.
Okay.
Because I mean, I get why that was the best thing for them to do.
Yeah.
Like it made sense,
Mhm.
and like it wouldn't obviously make sense if the world was a happy place all over again and
Yeah.
everybody was living their best life.
Yes.
But it was just too sad.
I know.
Like I don't
know.
know what happened to Key.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to Theo's dead body. Like, did they leave him on the boat? Did they push him into the sea?
I know, that's what I'm wondering
And then,
too.
like, every character that we empathize with in
Yeah.
the story, beside Key, ended up being dead. And like, also like, we never actually got to see like the human project.
Yeah,
What
that's
type of
true.
people there are, and
I
if
know.
they're actually good, if they're
Yeah.
like actually doing a positive cause,
Yeah.
or are they just selfish and doing this for their own as well?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And to add on slightly to the human project
Mhm.
itself is that the motivation of them was the human project, but we never really got to experience the human project. Like, what is it exactly? How is it looking like? Is it like somewhat in the forest, like somewhat like city vibe? Like, what is it going on?
I think with the human project is that they talked about it so much in the movie, but you never actually got to view it as an audience member.
Yeah, true.
So I never actually, like, to be honest, I didn't care that I didn't get to care that much about it because I just never saw it. It was like the movie was telling me, oh, it is this, but I never actually see that. It doesn't show me.
Totally. Yeah.
Which is like why I wish at the end we had like a glimpse of the human project or keep going into like at least that type of thing to make it a little bit more hopeful instead of being so vague. But I really liked like the beginning of the movie, and especially like I think the middle, like the climax with the action and everything. I think it really picks up.
True.
Like when he is about to give birth and all that, I really like those parts. But overall, I think I would give like a 4 out of 5. Yeah, 4 out of 5.
Got it. I totally agree what you're saying because, excuse me, the ending is really questionable. I really would love to see like the world, like you said, being happy, having its color back. Theo also finding his hope. I would also feel like if we get to see Keith's child like growing up a little bit, that would have been fun. But I guess like you mentioned before, the movie had to end it that way. Yeah, for sure. But the overall really good. Like the plot itself amazing, and for the reproduction of human being, like we never really get to think about it, but we get to see how important it is in the movie. It symbolizes. And so for me, 4.5 out of 5. Okay,
yeah. It was a good movie, and we have like similar thoughts about it. And this was a review of Children of Men. We are gonna watch some other movies and record reviews for them too, and then we'll share them with you guys.
Stay tuned. Bye, guys. Hi everyone, I'm Sia. Oh shit. Why did I do that?
Hello everyone, I'm Pari. So yeah, considering both of our laughing. Yeah. No, don't cut it off. No, the first video ends us laughing, and then when I want to cut them together, it'll be real awkward if I'm all serious again. So maybe this a little laughing one's not really good. Okay, yeah, so I have a problem. Yeah, so I think it was a good movie, and we have like similar thoughts about it. Yeah, so basically this was. What are you saying?